Hello there. Thank you again for joining us on VIP Boxing's Bell to Bell podcast. We're on episode 155. Who would have thought we would have made it that long? Not many. That I would, and I don't think John did, but he might have done. But anyway, thanks for either watching on iTunes, listening on Spotify. No, watching on YouTube, listening on iTunes or Spotify. Thanks very much. You know me, Steve. You know my co-host, John Evans. And at the bottom of your picture there, all niked up, it's one of Liverpool's finest, guy that never seems to go away. And that's meant as a compliment, because every time he suffers a setback, he comes back and gets a win. It's Tom Farrell. How are you, Tom?
Good, mate. Nice one. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, good. Thanks for coming on. You're back in action on a VIP show on June the 8th. Where'd you keep getting this motivation to come back every time there's a bump in the road, should we say?
Just love boxing, love fighting. Saying a little interview today, I never really started boxing professionally, like for money. Do you know what I mean? I just boxed because I loved it, and continue to feel that way. I had a little bit of time away, not time away where I've had time at the gym, but I've had a few months where I just haven't really been concentrating on boxing. A little bit of stuff going on at home and what have you over the past 12 months. So just sort of chilled on boxing, but continued training and staying busy in the gym, working in the gym, and I've done a bit of running, done a half marathon, done a full marathon. So I've been staying fit, and I had a little spar the other weekend. Just said, listen, I can't start waiting around anymore, because I'm 34, so time's not on my side. So I need to, if I want to have another crack at it, then I need to get going.
Yeah. Do you accept that? You're coming back on the VIP show at the Grand Central June the 8th. Do you accept that when you've had this fight, when you get the call for a bigger fight again, it'll be a case of you'll very much be the one being thrown to the wolves as such, because you're not getting any favours done, are you?
Yeah, I have been for the last 3 fights.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Harlem Eubank details started to pick me as a little stepping stone. Haney said again, good kid, he looked great again at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then the same with Khalil Majid, and we had a little few issues over the last 12 months, so I didn't want to go out like that. People think I'm probably retired because I haven't really been on the scene, but I've just said I need to get sorted at home first before I start going into boxing, like with stuff on my mind and like distract me from what I need to be doing.
Yeah, just one last question. You touched on that. Is Henry Turner the real deal?
Yeah, he's class. He's very good. Yeah, I knew he was good. I know I did get injured. I done a bit of a problem during that fight in like the early rounds. And couldn't really get going. So my corner said, "Listen, it's not worth it." I didn't really tell him for a couple of rounds. I just said that my ribs gone. So he just said, "Listen, come on, it's not worth taking anymore when you can't really, perform how you should." But yeah, take nothing away from him. He's class. He's a classy kid, and he's only 23. And I think he's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, Turner looks like he's gaining confidence and gaining strength with every fight at the minute. I thought he looked really good at weekend. Quick one though, just off the boxing.
Yeah.
I know I'm joined here by two of Britain's greatest marathon runners. Did you enjoy it, Tom? Some people I speak to say, "Oh, it's the best thing you ever did." Some people say, "I absolutely hated every step." What camp do you fall in?
No, it's from about 21 miles. I was just thinking, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" I had that plan to do it the whole way with two of my mates, and then at the start, I think I stayed with them for about a mile and a half, 2 miles, and I thought, even though I felt comfortable at the time, I thought they're going a bit quick. So I was clocking me watch and seeing me times, and I thought, if I carry on like this, I'm just going to die when it gets towards the back end. And then, lo and behold, I ended up catching one of them about 24 miles. So it was a good decision not to bat on with them.
Brilliant.
Do you like it, Steve?
You know what? Because I trained every day. Because I'm a fucking dope, I suppose. I trained every day during COVID, every single day. And then about a month before the Manchester Marathon in 2022, was it 22 or 20? I can't remember what year it was. 22. Was it October 22? They had one Manchester Marathon in October instead of the usual April. I was going to bed every night in pain. did the race. The last 8 miles were the worst thing ever in my life. I was in pain for a month afterwards. I've done no long distances since. I've just signed up for the Manchester Marathon next year. So Lillis is back. Lillis will be back at 63, fucking running a marathon.
Get signed up, Farrell. We're having a bet. We're having a
Well,
VIP challenge.
But congratulations. I know he listens to the pod some, so I keep meaning to get him on. Jake Pollard did it in 3.5 hours, the London Marathon on Sunday. So fair play. But we'll crack on talking about boxing. I'm sure Tom will join the many boxers afterwards who go and do sub 3-hour marathons once he's retired, like Michael Conlan did, 2:55. Anyway, you're from Liverpool, Tom, but John's going to start us on the first round and 2 shows in Liverpool Saturday night, 5 minutes walk apart.
Yeah, little scheduling difficulties there because of the Taylor Catterall fight getting pulled over. They've put Peter McGrail's return to action back on in Liverpool on Saturday. 2 big shows, though. You know, we've got Mason Cartwright, haven't we, on the VIP show? We all like Mason, good, exciting fighter in some real good fights, exciting fights. And I think he's still got 1 good run left in him, Mason, hasn't he, at least? I like watching Mason. And then just down on the waterfront at the conference centre, we've got Peter McGrail, you know, probably one of the most talented kids in Liverpool, coming back after that knockout defeat he had in America not too long ago. And as good as Peter is, coming back from a one-shot clean knockout like that, you never know how someone's going to react, do you? Up against VIP's Mark Leach, you know, a really talented boxer. So VIP got a heavy interest, haven't they, this weekend, and 2 big shows over there in Liverpool. Yeah,
I'll be over at the Mason Cartwright fight. He's up against Serge Ambomo. It's a fight he should win, but Serge's last 2 fights, the Grand Central, 2 of my greatest matchmaking mistakes. So there you go. When he beat Ryan Dickens and then Conor Gordon. So much as I love Serge, please don't make it hat-trick this week. Would he be sacking me anyway? He'll get Tom in as his matchmaker or something. Are you looking forward to the cards, Tom?
Yeah, I'm looking for. I'll be down at the one with you, watching. You know, we've got Mason on, Jade, and Jamie. So there's three of our fighters on that night. So we're looking forward to it. You know, it's going to be a good night.
Just want to ask you about Jay Devine. Really been impressive, hasn't he, since he turned over?
Yeah.
And he looks like someone who might be able to be pushed, not rushed, but pushed a bit quicker than some prospects.
Yeah, he's strong, very, very sharp. I remember when he first came to our gym and I was watching him thinking, who's this? This is a few years ago now when he was only an amateur. And someone must have caught the wrong end of the stick and he went, oh yeah, he's unboxed. I was like, yeah, he's thinking unboxed. And then obviously when I found out about him, he'd had about 50 odd amateur fights. So since then he's been in the Commonwealth Games for the Isle Man, and you know, he's good fighter. He's, you know, he's quality. He's had a good age where he's, you know, he's matured, where he's punching hard, and you know, he's got that little bit of a nastiness about him.
Just a quick one before we move on. Give us your predictions for McGrail and Kane. You know, will McGrail just be too good, too classy, and his Mark a little bit too old? I think we'll all pick McGrail, but how do you see it going?
If I just think, look, I love Mark, you know, but you know, he's been good, Mark. Well, he's had a good career, Mark. Maybe, you know, don't forget, it wasn't so long ago we thought he was going to beat Liam Davis. Well, I thought he was going to beat Liam Davis. It was seen as a 50-50. Look, you got to go with McGrail, but it's how you bounce back from these losses. It wasn't a nice night, but he's back on home, so you got to fancy him to win on points. That's what clearly.
Yeah, I'd say points because you know, we can be tricky, can't he, Mark Leach, and he's gonna make it probably hard work for Peter.
Yeah. Round 2. You know what? We didn't talk a lot when the 5x5 was announced literally minutes before we recorded last week, and we didn't, you know, and over the last week been reading and, you know, people talking about Deontay Wilder, Eddie Hearn bigging him up brilliantly, but I know he'll be 39 in October. I've been thinking if he went and does Zang in style, he'll be the most wanted man in the heavyweight division again. Because if he sparks Zang's just going to go flat and won't be able to get up because he's too big, I think. I mean, for a start. And I just think, mad as it sounds, the heavyweight division, even at his age, and even though we've got Usyk, Joshua, Fury, all there, everyone's talking about, it still needs Deontay Wilder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of Wilder? Do you think the division needs a great Wilder, Tom?
He's just got that concussive power, hasn't he? You know, one shot and the fight can be over. I think the Zang that boxed Parker. I thought Parker would have done. Sorry, I thought Zang would have been too much for him, but he done a good job on him. Felicity, little girl trying to get involved there.
Oh yeah,
I'm just doing something. we've got a
special guest this week is I don't know your daughter's name, but that's a special guest on Bell to Bell.
Felicity, yeah, but I think.
Thank you, Felicity.
Get up, babe. Go now, Danny.
Does Felicity think the division needs Deontay Wilder?
Do we need Deontay Wilder? Oh, she's gone shy now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think he can knock him out. I think at any point, but you know the same applies. Zang's got big good power, hasn't he? You know, he put Parker down twice was it when he actually had to go, and I think I was just waiting for him to do more of it. But the rounds that he didn't put him down, and I don't think he done anything, did he?
You know what, as well, I think it's going to be a real short firefight, and if there is a fight to make Wilder look good, it could be this way. It could either go horribly wrong and Zang does him, or it'll go really well for him and he'll smash Zang to bits. But I tell you what, Wilder, you might say he's still got that hunger and that explosiveness. But one thing you can't question about him, when he gets tagged and it becomes a fight, Wilder comes alive, doesn't he? He doesn't duck away, he doesn't shy away. Even in that Parker fight, when he got hurt, he was swinging away. So I love Wilder.
I love him.
I hope we get one more moment. I hope he doesn't just peter out.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. Felicity's interrupting us. I'll turn my phone off. Right, and round 3, Tom, the Elite Amateur Finals. I think they took place this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, down in Derby.
Derby, yeah.
I went down to watch one of No Limits' fighters, Lucas Dube, in his ABA final, and then obviously stayed and watched the rest of the Merseyside region. We had a good return, so I think there was eight finalists from our region and seven winners. So yeah, it was a good return for Merseyside boxing. So just wanted to give them a little shout out. Really, some top fighters on display.
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah.
I've got over the last couple of years, I've not drifted away deliberately, just been busy with other things. Over the last few years, do you think that, I mean, obviously, you've got to be a good fighter to win an ABA. I think Jay Devine won one, didn't he? Who's in your gym, did he?
No, yeah, I think he got beaten in the final.
Was he beaten in the final? I know he had a good run in it. But do you think, I just feel that we're not made aware of these things enough now. I mean, I'm going about the marketing side. It's terrible. And I'll be honest, I didn't know the finals were in Derby on Saturday till I checked after you told me this was a topic. So the marketing for him, I think, is terrible. And I don't think, why is it the podium kids don't seem to go in it anymore, Tom?
They did put some seeded fighters in, but I think obviously the top boys and girls who were already picked for, the big tournaments, I think they're sort of like left out of them. But they've got like the GB development type kids who are getting put in as like a first seed and a second seed, and they'll go straight to the quarterfinals. Which
is that how they? I mean, yeah. So they go to the quarters if you're seeded. So not the podium. If you're in the GB development, you get seeded.
Yeah, something along them lines. Yeah, but like you said, I feel like because even though I'm in an amateur gym, training and helping with the coaching, I feel like because I don't go to that many amateur shows, I feel like I haven't got my finger on the pulse anymore. It's like it's hard like keeping tabs on it unless you're around all the time. So I'm thinking, as boxing as it sort of took a slide, but then going down and watching them the other day, it was good. It's good to watch a lot of local talent doing well, and it was good to have so many champions from Liverpool and Merseyside and Cheshire.
Tom, have you had anyone in the gym get picked up by, say, England or Team GB and things like that? And if you have, how do you think that style, when we come back to yours, affects what Lucas won on the weekend?
Yeah, Lucas won on the weekend, which gives him, he got a letter straight away then given to him to say that he'll be boxing. He's going on a GB assessment type day, and then he'll be going to the Tri Nations, then representing his country against like Scotland and Wales. So yeah, that'll be he'll get his first England vest there, and then obviously it's a chance for him to impress. Then it might open some other doors where he starts going to other international tournaments.
And then if he gets on the podium squad, he's paid to box, isn't he?
Yeah, perfect. Ideal, isn't it?
Brilliant. Round 4, John, you're going to start us. If your mate Turki or His Highness or whatever he is, I like to call him anyway.
Right.
Turki's
right. His Excellency.
His Excellency. Well, Turki's plucking the PBC. I saw a picture with him saying big things are happening. Go on, John. Have your say.
Yeah. Big news, isn't it? You know, the PBC sort of been on the outside, haven't they? You know, what outside looking in at all this. I know we've had Wilder appearing and stuff like that, the odd fighter with ties to PBC. But if Turki can tempt fighters like Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford, I know all these aren't PBC fighters, but it could open the door to fighters like that all going over to Saudi Arabia. This could go to an entirely new level, couldn't it? You know, we've seen some great fights, seen fights we've always wanted. But can you imagine if over the next year, all the avenues open up and we get Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson or Ryan Garcia against a rematch with Tank? Imagine how big that'd be these days. I think this could really take boxing to a different level. This opens it up to America because it's been very European-centric, hasn't it, so far?
Britain-centric particularly, yeah.
Yeah, this could just be sensational, I think.
Yeah, I just wonder, I mean, it will be sensational if it comes off, but I wonder what Frank Warren, Eddie Earn are thinking now. They must be thinking, look, this could come on top for us now. You know, I'm not saying it will, and let's hope it doesn't, but you know, it means British fighters are still continue to earn stacks of dough. So long may that continue, because that's, you know, what we want to happen, our own to do well. But I wonder if they're thinking now, let's just take this while it's there.
Yeah.
They want to keep them on side, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. What do you think of all the Saudi stuff, Tom? Just love to be there and joining in.
Yeah, it's great seeing the shows, isn't it? It's great seeing the shows that are getting put on. Some of the fights are second on, aren't they? It's just a shame it's in Saudi because not many people are going to get to go and actually see it live. But you know, yeah, you can't fault the fighters who are, you know, getting on and putting the displays on because you know there's been some top boxing already, and I think looking forward to that during the first one. And obviously you've got Yusuf before that, haven't you, as well?
Right. John, when you speak to a lot of boxers, because you do a lot, you interview a lot in your role for boxing scene, do they bring that into the conversation at all, wanting to go there?
Not particularly. They don't bring it up. You know, it's generally one of those, and if a Saudi opportunity becomes available. So I think they know they've got to be of a certain status or signed to a particular promoter to get the big chances. I think they're all very aware they've got to win a big fight in order to get there. I think Mark Chamberlain's an anomaly, isn't he? He just cropped up on the radar. But obviously they all want to be there, don't they? The money's ridiculous. But I think they're all aware of their standing. Can you imagine if we get Hearn and Warren against PBC? Imagine them joining forces, putting teams together against that.
Oh,
that's where it could be going.
It's brilliant. I just love the fighters getting done. I know, you know, I know John's particularly worried about British boxing suffering, but I'm just happy the fighters are getting weighed in, and long may it continue. Are we up there, John? We're on to round 5 now. I'll tell you what, I was thinking of, saw a boxer today who was his childhood hero, and he was talking about a footballer he loved. And I was just thinking who your childhood boxing heroes were, just to reminisce. Go on, Tom. Who was your childhood boxing hero who you loved?
I'd probably say toss up between Naz and Ricky Hatton. I think I used to love watching Naz. Obviously, he's so exciting, wasn't he? He was, you know, he's the ultimate showman. But then probably more so Ricky Hatton. I used to love me and my dad, and I used to watch him all the time. I remember someone telling us early about him, say watch, I want to watch this kid. He's class. So I think we were on from the early days, and then you know, we used to follow him then far and wide whenever he was on the telly. And yeah, I'd probably say Ricky Hatton was one of the people that got me into boxing.
See, Felicity's there. She's going to tell me you're boxing hero growing up.
I was trying to keep me cool here while she's snuffing.
I tell you what, I loved Tony Simpson when I was a kid. Well before your time. I just love watching Simpson, you know, and it was one of the worst things ever in British boxing was his fight against Alan Minter, which would have made him a British superstar after he decapitated Minter, there was a TV blackout. And then when I was about 17, 18, and then I didn't have any money to go boxing when I was a kid, but I remember I bought my first boxing ticket, first big show boxing ticket for £17.50. It was, I think, in 1980 or 81. And Alexis Aguelo, you know, as I got into my late teens and early 20s, I loved.
Yeah.
So I went to small boxing as a kid. I loved a guy called Albert Hillman, Southern Area champion. His nephew Martin's a boxer now, but so my dad used to take me to watch him at Manor Place, and I just, you know, they're your sort of heroes, guys that were just kings of South London. What about you, John?
It changed mine all the way through. I used to love Naz when he was on ITV, and then he disappeared onto Sky, and I used to have to listen to it on the radio because we didn't have Sky. Then I remember buying a magazine called Total Sport, and it had a tiny little bit about a guy called Arturo Gatti, who just won some World War III with another guy, his name I didn't recognise. Turned out it was Wilson Rodriguez. And he said, this is the man to beat Naz. So then I became obsessed with Gatti, and I'd buy all the videos out the back of the magazines. And then when I got a little bit older and started watching it more, it was Roy Jones. I used to love Roy Jones. He was like a Superman, wasn't he? A superhero. But yeah, they're my three. But anyone who saw Naz when we were young loved Naz, didn't they?
Well, I was old, but lads, I absolutely adore him. Absolutely adored everything. Yeah, I was lucky enough in them Naz days, you know, to be covering all them fights in the 90s. Very, very lucky man to have been around that Naz career and being around him. Absolutely sensational, you know. Yeah. And there'll never be another one like him, because everyone talks about Naz, don't they? And the number of people who ask me, you know, who younger people who didn't know, they asked me, what was Naz like? How good was he? People who weren't lucky enough and have seen all them flights in the front. I was actually at his professional debut. Myself and Kevin Mitchell were the only journalists there in a leisure centre against Ricky Beard. I think it was in Alfreton, I think.
Can you imagine if someone popped on the scene now and did what he did against Badillo, where he was dancing and taking him apart?
Yeah. Imagine Naz in the social media in the Naz era.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Round 6, final round. Oh, you could talk about this all night, I think. I only watched it delayed because I was at another show Saturday. You know, I was actually spent in the middle of the night, fell asleep. Devin, Haney, Garcia. Tom, was your topic? Fire away your opinion.
I was very shocked when I seen the result, to be honest. I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next morning. I was surprised because I thought, you know, Garcia was showing signs that he's lost the plot a little bit, but I think you know, I did question a few times. I think, you know, has he got us all fooled? Is he doing a big act? Is he kidding us all and making us think that he has lost the plot? And you know, he's ultra focused, and you know, you could probably argue that it's worked what he done.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing that look, he's funny. Whether he played us like a fiddle or what, I don't know if there's something wrong with him. I've got brilliant if he conned everyone, played everyone the fiddle. Brilliant, well done. But you know what? I'm not joining in the love for him because end of the day, he cheated his way. He come in for over £3 overweight and planned it that way, and the people around him would have known. So yeah. I'm not impressed with that at all because you know. Other fighters might think that now, if I'm on £10 million, maybe I'll put in mind I'm only going to earn £8 million because I'm going to come in that way. I think that was really wrong, really dirty trick to do. And that's how I feel about it. I'm not, you know, great that he played everyone like a fiddle, but that was cheating his way to victory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mate said that today. I didn't even really think about that, you know.
Yeah, what do you think, John?
I thought that was bizarre as well. I'd be letting him get away with it. Yeah. Why didn't they slap a rehydration clause on him? Why didn't they say you can't weigh more than 150 the next day? Haney didn't need... Yeah, it was 140. He weighed in 143. They should have said, right, you can't weigh more than 150 or something the next day, or welterweight. But we just let him get away with it. And Haney doesn't need 600 grand.
Yeah.
So you give him such a massive advantage for $600,000 that he doesn't need. And then the idiot turned up wearing Ugg boots.
Yeah.
Did you see what he had on his feet?
Yeah.
Incredible stuff from Garcia. I'll be honest, apart from all the madness stuff, I just thought Haney had become so much better as a pro. I just thought he'd outbox him 7 days a week, even if Garcia was fully there.
I thought he might
massive shot.
Yeah, well, I think we were that sort of thing. It was either a 12-round one-sided beatdown, or he was going to get rid of him early. That was our fault on here last week, Tom.
Yeah.
Did we neglect though that we saw Haney rock to his boots against Lomachenko against Linares, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've seen him hurt a couple of times. Did we just completely overlook that? And Garcia, if he's got two things, it's speed and power. And he was probably always going to land at some point with a left hook. Yeah. And he landed straight away, and Haney just couldn't take it.
What he did do brilliantly, I'll not forget his performance, the way he cheated his way. What he did do brilliantly, Garcia, he was the B side to that fight when it was announced. He made himself the A side. And whoever he fights next, he's back to being the A side. Whoever he fights, he's back to being the star of the show.
He's the money man, isn't he?
Yeah. It's mad, after that loss to Tank and written off, and suddenly he's the man the division needs and wants now, because he's going to get you your money. But I just don't like the way he went about the victory, but by weighing in every and knowing. And I'd like to know what was actually in that bottle of beer he had when he weighed in.
All right, I'd put money on it not being beer. I'd probably apple juice and water or something like that.
A bit of water to get on the scales with, but look,
fair play to him. He kept it going right till the end, didn't he?
Brilliant! I mean, brilliant. And you wonder how much they all knew Golden Boy. How many people were actually in on that, because you wouldn't want, because boxing's a village. Everyone knows what everyone's doing. I wonder how many people actually knew he was pulling that stroke. I wonder.
Yeah.
I know one person who did have a bet on him, Steve Wood told me about, Dave Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He backed him at 6-1 or something. Yeah.
Didn't he also stick $2 million on himself? It's come out now.
Did he? I don't know. He just, I say, look, fair play to him, but the way he won the fight does leave a taste. If he had gone and made the weight and still won the fight, it would, I have nothing but love for him. But it's great the way we've all been speaking, not just us, hundreds of thousands of people who have an opinion on boxing. Maybe we shouldn't have it sometimes, because we was all fearing for his health. The minute the fight was announced and he ballooned, I was on here weeks ago saying he shouldn't be allowed near a boxing ring. But what do I know? Anyway, fellas, thanks very much for that tonight. John, thanks as always. Tom, thanks as always. I'll get your opponent and see you on June the 8th. Thanks very much.
Yes,
thanks everyone for watching or listening.
See you Saturday anyway.
Yeah, you will do. Thanks. Cheers, John.
Brilliant. Nice one, lads. See you later.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.